Hey, I'm John from SurfFX, and today we're looking at the 2021 North Orbit. Now, I particularly like this kite. It's actually my kite of choice. I get to ride anything obviously we have here because, hey, well, when you're one of the bosses, you can do that. But this kite for me is one that I can ride really quite aggressively on like a surfboard shaped twin tip. I use a Cabrini Tronic SS, and it's just a board that I can twin tip ride, and then when a wave's shaping up nicely, I can hook around and do a nice little cutback on it and ride the wave. So it really is a kite that's quite versatile, but really is very focused to the big air, hang time kind of stuff. A few changes they've done for 2021, primarily in the bridle and in the construction. So in the bridle, it's a complete pulley-less bridle. It's quite a long bridle, so you do get a bit more leverage with it the way it's positioned on the kite now. So it's a bit more loopable. Even you see the guys kite looping on the big 12 meters. So something that's kind of hard to do on most kites in 12 meter size, but especially in a higher aspect 5-strut kite. But the 5 struts give it that stability that you can really just launch it and have great hang time. So you do have a 2-section arc like they did previously. So you've got an inner section which is quite flat, and then you've got, it curves in again on another arc profile for the wingtips. And that new bridle helps just crank those wingtips and get it flicking around a little bit better. Now construction, they've gone away from the Dacron on the leading edge and the trailing edge, and it's been able to shave a bit of weight off it. We haven't weighed them on the scale yet, but it is noticeable in the bag, so it's a few hundred grams. And it's nice to see brands concentrating on stuff like weight reduction and things like that, as pretty much every other sport does in high performance equipment. Get the weight down, it makes everything a bit crisper, livelier, and lets you kind of go a bit harder. Now, like I said, this kite I do use in the ocean primarily. Just launching off waves is just a big hang time kite. But unlike some of the ones, the higher aspect stuff that is a really great hang time kite, I found that this okay wave rides. No, it's not the best, it's a 5-strut kite, but it's still able to get on the wave and control it, keep it high, and it doesn't really drop out of the sky. So it's bonus, and that's exactly the way I like to kiteboard. Now, you get to go on this kite quite a bit higher into the wind. So it's got quite a reduced leading edge diameter, something that I kind of threw out there last year. And it's just higher profile, 5-strut kite, flat, goes the edge of the wind window, so upwind's nice and easy. The great upwind and being able to push it to the edge of the wind window also allows for a pretty big wind range. So I like to go out just when it's windy, usually quite overpowered. I have a 10 and a 12 with me most of the time. And having it being able to go to the edge of the window lets you just sit back, you can crank it up onto the edge, and it allows you to hold a fairly big kite in windier conditions. So as opposed to like a kite that sits a bit further back, it's just going to pull you harder downwind, whereas the higher aspect kind of goes to the edge, dumps wind off the back, and you can really hold on to a big kite and big wind. So, and it just helps you go a little bit bigger. A few changes to the bridle with the new positions on the leading edge, but they also gone a much thinner and a pre-stretched high tensile new bridle line. So it is a crisp feel. I mean, kites always feel great straight out of the bag, a crispy new setup, but having a new line setup like that just helps it stay crisper for longer. That with the new materials, having that stiffer material on the trailing edge and in the leading edge in a few little areas gives it a nice stiff skeleton, so you really can just lock it in the draft and in position. All this stiffness, big air potential, and the ability to whip it around means that this kite does well in competitions, particularly big air, and it's the Red Bull King of the Air winning kite. If you've ever seen the contest, if you watched a bit of it last year, you see guys going absolutely huge, chucking kite loops in it, and they're able to ride like a nice sized kite to get good power, but be able to actually recover and ride on the water and not get blown off the water.